Right guys, as you can see, I've got spacers here to extend the mirrors. Although it's only about just under an inch, it makes an awful difference to have that either side of the bike, especially if you're fairly broad at the shoulders. It really does make it easy, because I find this bike is very narrow, and they do work well. Very impressed with them. You can also see I've actually got a wide angle mirror. Now, they took a while to get used to, but as I said, the bike is very narrow, and it is a big problem I had with seeing behind me for safety. So they were another added extra. I don't like the look of them, but it takes a while to get used to it. When you do get used to them, they're blinding. They're a good feature on the bike. Something well worth thinking about. Very worth thinking about. As you can see, I've got the Oxford heated grips. There's 5 settings to it. Now, on this particular brand of Oxford grips I've got, there is no actually cut-off switch from the battery. What it is, if you do forget to turn them off, the battery, however it works with some sort of a sensor, once the battery starts to drain and realises that there's a drain on the battery, they automatically cut out if you walk away from the bike, or if someone happens to turn them on when you've left the bike. So they won't stay on and drain your battery. This feature is very good on the Oxford grips. Now, I must say, I was never ever a lover of heated grips because I'm old fashioned, but I got these for a Christmas present off of my daughter, and I use them more or less every time on the low setting. Obviously not in the summertime, but once the weather starts to drop a bit in temperature, I actually wouldn't do without them now. Another very good feature on the bike, which is a shame that this particular model doesn't come with heated grips, that you don't have to have wires hanging everywhere. But the Oxford grips, very happy with them, I must say. Very happy. Now you see I've got a holder there for a Zumo sat-nav. I normally just leave the cover on it, and you just click your sat-nav on there, do your business, and away you go. Where it's situated, it looks as if it's actually in the way of me speedo, rev counter and what have you. I can actually look straight over the top of my sat-nav and see my gauges. It does look more awkward than it actually is. I get no vibration out of it. The only thing I do tend to get is a glare at night time, so I tend not to use it unless I really have to. But then again, I don't like riding at night anyway, you know, not with deer on the road or anything like that. If I can avoid it, I do, but sometimes you just can't avoid these things. So the Zumo sat-nav, I've got my telephone through it, I've got my radio through it, and I've also got my own personal music running through it, which is I'm into the country and western, to be quite honest. Throw a bit of old Jerry Guttery on it and Stuart Miles, why not? It's nice to have it in your ears, gives you the sensation of being back at home. Anyway guys, let's move on. Right guys, now there's this baby, this here, as you can see. She moves up and down, and you can adjust it to your own setting depending on the height for you. This is a must. If you're 6 foot, 6'1", this is definitely a must. It stops the vibration in the crash helmet and everything. It's not tinted, but then again, there's no tint on my bike, so it suits me, the colour of it. It's not too bad. A lot of people would go for tinted, and yeah, tinted would be nice, but you know, it doesn't look out of place on the bike, so I'm very happy with that as well. Definitely a must to have on the Suzuki FA if you're a tall person. It really does help. Now, as you can see, I've got a couple in there for a GV top box, tank bag. I'm not too happy with the ones with the magnets because it does tend to mark the paintwork after a while. The one I've got, it's only a small little one to keep me keys and me passport in, and just personal bits and pieces that if I'm on the ferry I just clip it off, take it with me, or if I'm in the petrol station, you know, it's very handy because it's very small and it's just like a man bag, as we might say, but very handy. Plus, if you don't want to use a sat nav, you can have directions looking at you, just that you can glance down every now and again, just for like little reminders. I don't use a tank bag that much, only when I'm doing the long runs. But you know, another thing I'm very happy with, as I say, it's choice. It doesn't look that nice to have it on there, but I find when you're opening the filler and you've got a bunch of keys, the keys tend to dangle there rather than on the tank, so it actually does protect the tank as well. You know, something worth thinking about. Now you can see there we've got the panniers, one either side like you do, and the top box. I'm not too sure of the amount of litres they actually hold, but you can get a good bit of kit in them, to be quite honest. In fact, it does make the bike very heavy because there is a lot of storage in there. So anyway, I hope you like this review of my 1250 FA. As I said earlier on, click like, add comments, or even subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. And there you see it there in the full with the standard exhaust pipe on it. Thank you very much, guys. It's much appreciated for watching the end of this video. Thank you.